While some Americans are showing their frustration with the U.S. economy by joining protests, others have decided to leave the country in search of work. Immigration Canada reported that it saw a record number of Americans seeking temporary work visas last year. Michael Niren is an immigration lawyer with Niren and Associates, which is experiencing an influx of American job seekers. Michael, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So what kind of increase are you seeing?
I'm seeing a significant increase in my practice. In the past, there was a brain drain, as they called it, going stateside, where a lot of Canadians were seeking work permits to come to the U.S. Now I'm noticing the reverse trend. A lot of American companies are coming to Canada to seek a more stable economy, better job opportunities, and are asking for Canadian visas to come to Canada.
What kind of jobs are they looking for?
Well, a lot of them are engineers, people in the mining industry. We have a huge resource economy, but it's the whole gamut. You get people, medical professionals, you name it. There's a wide range.
How difficult is it to obtain a Canadian visa? I know from experience, having worked in the States myself a number of years ago, there were a lot of hoops to jump through to get a green card. Well, first of all, a work visa. So how is it in reverse?
Well, it's not too difficult if you qualify. Americans and Canadians have the benefit of getting visas under the NAFTA agreement. So, and NAFTA tries to make things a lot easier. It facilitates border crossing. If you are a professional, if you have an education, and if you have a job offer, most likely you'll qualify for a visa. However, that's not the case for everybody.
So is it important then to have a job offer and then to prove that you're sort of outstanding in your field in order to take that job away from a Canadian person?
Well, yes and no. You do need a job offer, but under NAFTA, it's not required that an employer in Canada demonstrate that there is no Canadians who could do the job, or that the applicant has to be outstanding. So long as the applicant qualifies and can get the job and can get the job done, then the employer could offer the job and the applicant can get the visa. So it's not too difficult under NAFTA.
Interesting. Okay, are there certain regions of Canada that is seeing more interest?
Well, Ontario is really the immigration hub of Canada. We always see the traffic going to Ontario. But Alberta and the West, because of the oil industry and the resource industry, major activity there as well.
What about the cost of living here in Canada as compared to the United States? Are they prepared for that?
That's an interesting question. Because of the downturn in the U.S. economy, some states and cities, the cost of living have plummeted. So Americans are quite surprised by our robust housing market. The cost of housing is quite high. So I wouldn't say it's cheaper here based on my client's experience, but the job stability is what draws them.
Right. Now, if someone is interested in coming to Canada, and if they happen to be watching this, maybe in Buffalo, who knows, what would you advise, and how long will the process usually take, and how much does it cost?
Well, basically, the first thing to do is to look at your resume, look at your credentials, and then look at the NAFTA list. There's a list of occupations that you have to qualify for, or you have to have. And once you have that, seek employment in the same way you would in your home country. Once you have a job offer, then you're going to have to consider whether or not you qualify for the visa. Cost-wise ranges from a few $1,000s to a little bit more, depending upon the nature of the case.
And finally, for employers in Canada, should they be nervous about hiring somebody from the United States, that they will think that there's going to be a lot of work in it for them to get that person here?
Under NAFTA, again, it's not too onerous on employers. All they have to do is prepare a job offer letter, a temporary job offer letter, and prove that they're legitimate employers. They have to comply with the requirements in the same way that they would have to, in terms of hiring a Canadian. So it's not too bad, but they have to make sure their I's are dotted or T's are crossed. They do what's necessary in terms of treating their employee in the same way they would if it was a Canadian.
All right, Michael Niren.